Hi.
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello to all the attendees today. This is Gil Shapira. I'm with S28. And joining me today is Prakash Bailey, our CEO and founder. Our intent today is to run a presentation around why choose Oracle Fusion or upgrade to Oracle eBusiness Suite R12. The flow of our presentation today will be a brief introduction. There'll be a discussion revolving around technology architecture, key functionalities that should be most important to stakeholders involved with or engaged with Oracle applications, in particular Oracle eBusiness Suite, what might be required of you in terms of planning Fusion, what you should consider in making either the choice of moving to R12 or implementing Fusion, what might be a best read approach, what our core competencies are in assisting you should that be a direction that you want to take, and we'll provide time for a brief summary and an opportunity for everyone who is attending today's webinar to ask us their questions. That having been said, I'd like to introduce Prakash Bailey, not only is he CEO of S28, an Oracle partner, who has for the last 7+ years been an organization committed to providing professional services and consulting for Oracle eBusiness Suite and other related Oracle applications. But Prakash is also a senior executive engaged with the development of eBusiness Suite while at Oracle, as well as partner technical services. So thank you for being here today. Prakash, it's all yours.
Thank you for joining the webinar today. So as Gil said, we are going to go over a couple of, we are going to go about where is eBusiness Suite today, where is Fusion, where it is heading. Then we will discuss a little bit about what you should be doing today. Whether you should be upgrading to eBusiness Suite Release 12 or whether you want to implement Oracle Fusion. So we will discuss that today.
Just a brief note for you to understand, we're a company that is very Oracle-centric. We talked a little bit about the role of Prakash, but our team all comes from a background of working heavily with Oracle applications and technology. We're an organization with a very trusted level of customers that will reference us at 100% of all the work we've done. And we have uncompromising standards that include an approach to service that is designed to meet the very flexible or customized needs of each customer. Displayed before you is just a quick snapshot of some of the customers that we've worked with over the past few years, all of them related to Oracle-required services and consulting for their Oracle applications and technology requirements.
Okay, thank you, Joe. So you probably see the screen where you are looking at the Oracle eBusiness Suite architecture. Oracle eBusiness Suite is in business for a long time. So the architecture, to some extent, has remained one and the same. But the components have changed a little bit. So this is reflective of about 11.10 architecture, what we are showing with components. So it has the front end, it has the app tier, and it has the database tier. Then you can always use Enterprise Manager if you wish to manage the solution on a structured fashion. So you can, and the great part about Windows 11 is it has a single data model. This is really important for most of the customers who cannot really spend time and energy putting together a best of the breed application. So this works. And on the front end, you have self-service application, or you can just have one of the browsers you can access the software. So I'm sure most of the people who work on eBusiness Suite are familiar with that. And as you can see, there are a lot of components in eBusiness Suite. So it varies from what you have selected really, which are the application you have selected, which are the technology piece you have selected. But most of the time you always have Oracle Forms, it is almost a must. Then you have Oracle Reports, Application Server, HTTP, then Apache. I'll not read the rest of the list, but XML Gateway is kind of optional. Oracle Discoverer, option many cases must for some customer. You can use Oracle Portal. And if you're in the latest patch, I'm sure you know the power of BIPL. BIPL stands for Business Process Execution Language, Oracle's middleware solution. So again, if you're looking from the visual angle, this is a little bit outdated, but if you're looking from 11, 5, 10 angles, this is kind of the architecture. You probably see a new slide on your screen about Fusion. When we talk about e-business suite, you saw how many few variables or pictures were there or components were there. Look at Fusion. It is crowded. There are a lot of technology fees. If you're looking at this architecture for the first time, there is not really a huge change in the architecture, but how the architecture works. That's a major difference. So there is a database, there is this app layer, or what Oracle calls today as the Fusion layer. Then you have all the Fusion applications sitting on that. So when we talk about Fusion, there is always confusion. Are we talking about Fusion application or Fusion middleware? So Fusion application foundation is really the Fusion middleware. So that is the component. So if you go a little bit deeper into that, you have application development framework, then you have the content management, identity management, web center, if you really want to store some of your files in a single place, in a structured fashion, of course that web center is the way to go. Then business intelligence, people do not understand what is the big thing about business intelligence in Fusion. A lot of change from Oracle Business Suite days. So then you have a secure enterprise search. This is something new. So I'm sure you can read it, but to make the things easier, Oracle Fusion is very complex. It has a lot of technology piece. There are a lot of moving components, and Oracle Enterprise Manager, of course, you can put a grid control. So there are a lot of technology pieces here. So I talked about Fusion architecture high level, but in summary, what we found out by using our lab and what do we find out by working with our customer. First one is data model. The foundation of Oracle Fusion comes from Oracle e-business suite data model. So people who worked with EBS before, guys, this is really good thing for you to know. You know, the data model Fusion application is technically built on Oracle e-business suite data model. The second thing, the view layer or presentation layer. This is a major big thing in Fusion. The presentation layer is really separated from data layer. What does it mean? How many times in my professional life I have heard their customers say, I don't like the standard UI, or I have my own company-specific UI. I want to put a different UI. So it is possible. It is finally here. So when we make any changes in the e-business suite, we always worry, right? What happens with all the support agreement we have where they say you cannot make changes? But this is where the major benefit of Fusion is designed to put a custom front end. And of course, standard, I think this is a good and bad thing. It is all about Java. It is all about JDeveloper. I don't want to say that your PL SQL knowledge is not useful, but even if you PL SQL, you probably have to put a Java wrapper end of the day. So it is all about Java. It is all about JDeveloper. Then let us talk a little bit about integration. It is truly service-oriented architecture. This is a major functionality. This is where you see the power of Oracle Fusion middleware. That is the good news. The bad news is It is a very, very complex piece of software to make it work. It requires a lot of debugging. We have done several application integration using SOA. This requires a lot of work. And Oracle is in the process of releasing what they call a product information pack, which will help you to integrate your product with Oracle Fusion. So the great thing about it is good. This is like where you can have a real-time integration without worrying too much, without really redesigning any one of the processes you have. But it is a complex application to do. Next one is, in Oracle E-Business Suite, typically almost all the logic is in the application layer. If you want to make changes, you go, you edit, you make changes, then you put it, finally maybe a PLC procedure, you might sit on database, but Fusion is metadata driven. Okay, so I truly believe that if you are developing an application, it should be metadata driven. It is not really the case in E-Business Suite to a great extent. It's always exception. Like some products probably had this metadata driven model already, but in Fusion, this is the strength. So, but people who want to do a customization, this requires a lot more planning. The moment you touch the metadata, if you make any changes, it will impact a lot more applications than you thought initially. The reason is everything is interconnected. So typically when you talk about customization, you talk to programmers and say, make these changes, right? Now you need to get the architecture person also involved. So the next one is setup manager. So this is the power in Fusion. This is what I really like. How many times in my life I have gone, do all the setup in the development environment, then migrate to production. Guess what? It is not working. Why? I did manual migration of all the setup. I forgot to really right setup some of the setups I made. It is not working. I wasted a lot of time debugging. In Fusion, you do all the setup.
Muted.
Then what you do is you really press a button which has the ability to migrate all the setup from one instance to other instance. The next point, effective dating. This is really borrowed from PeopleSoft as far as I can consider, right? This was in PeopleSoft. At any given day, you want to go and see what are the setups did I have, and what are the setups did I change between last time on particular day or time. Another major advantage is you can say, I want to make this setup valid on this day. So you can make all these setups up front, then you say on this day, I will really make it public or enable. So this is very, very strong functionality. It will take you guys, if you have not used Setup Manager in PeopleSoft, if you don't have exposure, this will take some time for you to understand how you use Setup Manager and what is the power of it, how do you migrate. There are certain restrictions on that. So collaboration. So today everything runs on collaboration, right? Like people want to do instant messaging, people want to transfer file, and they want to talk to other people, they want to get files from one system to other system. This is power of the Fusion. So that is a good part, but it is very difficult to, it is a complex to maintain and support. Why I say that is many times you need to figure out what information you are going to share outside the firewall, what information you are going to share inside the firewall, what are the company policy, procedures. So this is where you have to start thinking a little bit more. So role-based user experience is kind of nice, and depending on your role, you can see what you can do, you cannot do. This is, I will not call this as completely new, but I think E-Business Suite has a lot of these things inbuilt, but how they implemented in Fusion is the difference. Software as a service, it is not really a functionality. If you want to get it from Oracle, you can always get it from Oracle. You need not implement inside your lab. Okay, so now some comparison, okay? So here is the matrix which talks about E-Business Suite and Fusion. The first surprise we had when we implemented Fusion in our lab is really the minimum RAM recommendation from Oracle. It was 128 gigabytes. our DBS apps DBS system and it had a wow factor. You are kidding, 128 gigabytes. So most of your hardware probably you cannot install Fusion. So eBusiness Suite, it varies from what you want to install, how much you want to install. 16 gigabyte is really the minimum recommended. The hard disk recommendation, of course, it varies from how much software or modules you want to install, So here is the thing. eBusiness Suite about 300 gigabyte, and if you're talking about Fusion, is 500 to, probably it can go up to terabyte. If you're adding a backup system, it is more. So hardware throughput, you really need a powerful system. And in our lab now, we are experimenting installing Fusion on 32 gigabyte just to see what happens, It is really crawling, we really want to make it work so that we can compare apples to apples. How did it do at 32 gigabyte versus 128 gigabyte? Database size is bigger, and it is becoming bigger. I have put 200 gigabyte. It's very, very conservative. Probably you'll require a lot more than that. Installation time, the way we decided it, we gave release 11.5.10 to somebody new and say, you install it, and how long did they take, right? They could do it in days. Fusion is very complex. There is a lot of moving parts. If you're doing for the first time, my recommendation is plan for a week or weeks. That is what it takes to install Fusion. Other one is major functionality and feature of eBusiness Suite. It is a complete suite. You can use any one of the financial, HR, supply chain, project accounting, complex MRO, any one of these. It is a complete solution. It's a well-integrated solution. In Fusion, we have limited functionality today. First one is financials. Okay, when we talk about financial, there are certain functionality are more in Fusion, but you may or may not have all the functionality of eBusiness Suite. HRMS is good, project accounting is good, collaboration, as we talked before, it is the strength. About CRM, if your focus is sales and marketing, yes, you can definitely use Fusion. But if your focus is really about, say, service module, contracts, yes, these are not there yet. I'm sure it is coming, but it is not there today. So I am going to the next slide where we are again highlighting collaboration and migration of the setup. We spoke before. It is manual in eBusiness Suite. Here is the setup manager. Then integration in eBusiness Suite for most of the modules. It is primarily batch or point-to-point. Of course, if you are using project, there are some built-in APIs you can call from externally, putting a SOA wrapper, but this is primarily designed for a batch, like you use the interface. But Fusion strength is it is real-time SOA. Then eBusiness Suite is industry proven. It is there for more than 10 years. Fusion is new. And next one is the software licenses, right? A lot of our customers are asking, I want to go to Fusion, do I have to buy new? The answer depends on what are the functionality and features you plan to use in Fusion. If you're going to use, say, collaboration, of course you need more software. This is where really you have to talk to your Oracle sales rep and understand what license you have and what you require. Technology component, like lastly, there is a lot more technology component in Fusion, so it will require more maintenance support. Okay, then SBase, right? Many of us have heard about SBase. Like this is the one they got from Hyperion. And eBusiness Suite, it is not embedded, but in Fusion, it is almost embedded. Next version will have truly embedded solution. This is the power. Most of us have never used SBase, probably don't know what it is, but we had an opportunity to use in our lab, and it is extremely powerful. It is a reporting engine. It looks to some extent like Excel, but it is metadata driven. The changes are extremely easy. We are very impressed with the SBase. I'm glad that it is incorporated more and more into the core product. We are definitely happy to see that. This is going to solve a lot of your reporting requirements. It will be fast. It will be easy to modify. This is a good tool. Hardware, not a major surprise. All the hardware are supported. apps logic, I covered this initially. Fusion is metadata driven, and in e-business Suite is the application layer, again customization. Yeah, people like me who love PL SQL now need to learn a little bit of Java too, so that is what it is. Maintenance, because of the inherent nature of Fusion, where there are a lot of functionality features, so it is definitely very, very complex to maintain. And it is still new, so in coming days, probably it will be much easier. Okay, so the question is, do you upgrade to release 12 or implement Fusion? So this is where is our recommendation. So if you are using major functionality like supply chain, CRM, advanced model like contract support or CRMO, you will be better off moving to e-business release 12. Fusion really does not have a good solution at this point. You want to reuse what hardware you have. You are limited. Probably you don't want the new functionality. Can live with your current software. E-business Suite is the way to go. Collaboration, real-time integration is not a major requirement today, but if it is still a requirement, you can still do this if you upgrade to release 12. So user interface, yes, you cannot really put a custom user interface for e-business Suite so easily, but if you can live with that, that is really good. Training budget, of course, if you can reuse what knowledge you have without really learning anything new. So all this advantage you have in moving to release 12. In summary, you can move to release 12 if you're using more than financial, more than the basic CRM. You have to upgrade to release 12. That is our recommendation. So Fusion, you're a brand new company, you want to be in the latest and greatest technology, Fusion is the way to go. Your core requirement is financial, HRMS, project, and you love collaboration. Definitely Fusion gives you a platform for that. And you have the ability to invest with more hardware and also probably more software, and your integration need is really real time. These are the areas where you should consider Fusion. Next thing is, there are limited resources availability in the market, so your implementation cost may be a little bit more than traditional e-business Suite. Then it is a new product. It takes a long time to mature a product, so you need to have patience to resolve the early adopter bugs or issues. Okay, so let us talk about another model, right? You love e-business Suite, certain functionality. You want certain functionality of Fusion, maybe collaboration, maybe the cool UI. You want to put a custom front end. This is where probably you can go with best of breed approach. If you're on 11.5.10, our recommendation is move to release 12. Why? You will be on the latest and greatest technology stack from Oracle. And if you go to release 12 and the latest technology stack, it is really the technology stack for Fusion. This is where your resources have the opportunity to get to know the Fusion application really without using the Fusion application, just using the Fusion middleware. So that is a big advantage. Then move to Oracle Fusion, collaboration piece first, then integrate rest with Oracle Business Suite. So that is what we recommend if you really want to use this. If you're a new customer, use Fusion, again, summarizing what I said before, HRMS, project accounting, financial. If you want to do that, you can still use in Oracle Fusion. So these are the things probably you want to consider. Look, what are the functionality features I'm using end of the day in 11.5.10? Can I go to release 12 and get all those functionality plus more and have the UI feeling of Fusion? So then you probably recommend to release 12. Okay, so the question is, when we talk about Fusion, what is really our qualification around Fusion, right? So almost all the key management people came from Oracle. So we are working with the Oracle application for nearly 23, 24 years. Some of us were responsible for developing Oracle application. And as estimated in the last 5 years, we have built a very solid Oracle dedicated team focused on e-business Suite, Siebel, JDE, PeopleSoft, now Fusion also. So we have good experience at this time in Fusion. We have an in-house team where we make sure we experiment, we learn the tools before we go to customer site. So another tool I really want to highlight here, Rapid Suite. If you're on release 11.5.10, you want to upgrade to release 12, we can make this migration very, very seamless. What this tool does is it will pull all the setups from Oracle E-Business Suite 11.5.10. It will convert to equivalent release 12 setups. It will migrate all the setup and your data. Okay, so this is the power of the tools. Your implementation or upgrade cost should be at least half of what you have done. Not only that, this is repeatable. Once we do the migration, it works like in Fusion Setup Manager, where you can keep going and creating one more instance if you want. If you want to create another organization, it's very easy. Go modify this Excel-like front end and get it done. And people who love Oracle AIM methodology, it can produce document which looks like Oracle AIM methodology document. So Estuate, we are a gold partner. We resell Oracle application, we technology. We have invested very, very heavily in Exadata. So we have today almost all the technical certification required to get Exadata certified status. We hope to complete this process with Oracle in the next 1 month. Then we have spent extensive hours and our energy in creating the best practice for any one of the application we implement and support today. That includes Fusion. So lastly, almost anybody who talks about Oracle E-Business Suite, Siebel, PeopleSoft, JDE, if it is a services company, they tell, hey, every one of my resources are trained. We are extremely good with the customer. We have a huge practice. The differentiation for Estuate is only one thing. Every one of our customers is repeat and referenceable. That is something we believe it is very, very unique to Estuate. You can ask, how many customers are we working today? Go to our website, check the customer list. Every one of our customers is repeat and referenceable. And we are working today with Fortune 25 through startups. So at this point, I will hand over to Gil. Gil, could you please take it over?
I'd like to give the audience a chance now to have their questions answered. And I am looking to see if any questions have been submitted.
Question we have is, how is metadata created in Fusion?
Okay, this is a very, very complex question, because Oracle has spent a lot of energy
EBS R12
and time to define the relationship between all the objects, all the modules, and how all the products are integrated together. So, and they have spent a lot of energy and time. Then they start defining this in the database layer, and it is part of the database. So this will require us to go into a lot of details. Probably, if you can send us an email to Gil Shapira, we will definitely get back to you.
Okay, next question.
We also have a question about will Fusion be enabled into
EBS
R12.2 for e-business suite?
So the question is, will Fusion be enabled to Oracle E-Business Suite? I am not understanding the question very clearly. Is it about the integration or so primarily you can integrate Oracle Fusion with the E-Business Suite. There are some what we call as integration tips are coming from Oracle, not just E-Business Suite, even other modules from Oracle. Then you can definitely, there will be out-of-the-box integration. We have not implemented that in our lab yet. I'm personally not sure whether it is officially released or not. Answer is yes, you can coexist. I hope I got the question right. If not, please send us the email once again, gilshapira@estuate.com. So looks like we don't have any other question. So if you have any questions, please email us. It is really our privilege to talk to you and expose the functionality and features of Oracle Fusion.
All right. Well, thank you very much. appreciate you attending our webinar today. Hope that it brought you a great deal of value. And if I can, I just want you to give you for a second here. If you have any further questions, please go ahead and contact us, either at the email address provided on screen or the phone number, and we will be glad to be responsive right away to you.